Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this video I'm going to take a look at the Demon Hunter cards from Hearthstone's upcoming March of the Lich King expansion and showcase 3 Theorycrafted decks for the class. Overall, I'm pretty excited about the Demon Hunter package because Demon Hunter package has some super sweet cards and it also supports multiple archetypes. It supports at least 3, maybe even 4 different decks with this package of 10 cards. So let's take a look at what are the cards. So first we have Fierce Outsider, a 1-mana 2/1 with Rush. Outcast your next Outcast card, costs 1 less. There is a new Outcast package for Demon Hunter here. Outcast packages typically have not worked very well, so I'm not sure if they work very well right now either. There's basically 2 different decks that you can build with the Outcast package that I can think of. You could build it as a more mid-range package, or you could combine it into aggro Demon Hunter. I'll showcase a sample of what aggro version could look like later on in this video. And yeah, okay, so Fierce Outsider is one of those cards. Then we have Unleash Fel, 1 mana, deal 1 damage to all enemies, mana thirst 4, lifesteal, a Fel spell. So Unleash Fel, it's interesting, it might be possible to do this with a bunch of spell damage because it deals 1 damage to all enemies, so minions and the hero. Maybe there's something that you can do, something interesting that you can do with Unleash Fel. I'm not completely certain about that yet. And also, it just goes nice with Jace and stuff. Then we have Mark of Scorn, 2 mana, draw a card. If it's not a minion, deal 3 damage to the lowest health enemy. So we have this minionless Demon Hunter, another archetype that is being supported here. And minionless is going to be really interesting once we get to that Skite. But Mark of Scorn, okay, that's fine. Then we have Wretched Exile, 2 mana 2/3, after you play an Outcast card, add a random Outcast card to your hand. So Wretched Exile would go into this sort of mid-range style Outcast deck. I tried to think about whether it could go into an aggro style, but currently I think that if you play aggro style Outcast, probably Wretched Exile doesn't make the cut because it's just too slow. Then we have Felderai Warband, 4 mana, deal 4 damage. If your deck has no minions, summon 4 1/1 Illidari with Rush. So another one of these no minions cards, and deal 4 damage, which can all go face, and then 4 1/1 Rush minions. That's pretty sweet value for 4 mana. And of course, the heart and soul of minionless Demon Hunter, the Soul Eater's Skite. 4 mana, 4/2, start of game, consume 3 different minions in your deck, leave behind souls that discover them. So souls are spells that then discover those minions. The minions are removed from the discover pool as they're discovered. You have 3 souls in your deck. It destroys 3 minions from your deck, so those minions will never be part of your mulligan, and they're going to be consumed. You can also have 2 copies of 1 minion and 1 copy of another. It's just 3 minion cards. So basically that means that in a non-minion Demon Hunter you can actually play 3 minion cards. And that's going to be interesting. Also, you're going to be able to get those quite reliably because you can discover them. So once you draw any of those souls, you can discover any of the minions that you have set aside. Which means that, okay, there might be some combo implications for this, and even if it's non-combo, there's still some pretty sweet legendary cards that you can put into this one. Just a phenomenal card, a definitive card of the archetype, and I think there's probably going to be multiple decks that you can build with this. I have one that I have Theorycrafted that I'm going to show in this video. Then we have Deal with the Devil, 5 mana, summon 2 3/3 Fel Fiends with lifesteal. If your deck has no minions, summon another. Alright, another no minion Demon Hunter card, fine. Vengeful Valoper, 7 mana, 5/5 demon with Rush. Costs 1 less for each Outcast card you played this game. And this is a card that I have spent a lot of time thinking about. It obviously goes if you try to build a mid-range Outcast deck. Can it go into aggro Outcast? I'm not sure. I would need to play a little bit to get the feel of how many discounts I'm able to get to this one. So whether it's really worth it, but really, whenever there's a card that can cost 0, that's obviously very strong. And then we have Brutal Annihilan, 9 mana, demon, 9/9, taunt, rush. After this minion survives, damage deal that amount to the enemy hero. I really didn't see this big Demon Hunter support coming in, but this is super interesting. I first thought about building this into a Proving Grounds deck, but then I have also thought about building this into the spell that summons a demon from your hand. Not Proving Grounds, but trying to do another type of big Demon Hunter. I'll showcase the list a little bit later. Anyway, getting some big Demon Hunter support. And finally, Fellerin the Forgotten, 4 mana, 3/3, Battlecry, add a random outcast card to the left and right sides of your hand, they cost 2 less. So pretty powerful minion. Potentially the outcast cards can be pretty strong, and many of them cost only 0 to 2 mana. So you're probably going to be able to play a bunch of those immediately. Very, very powerful effect. But what about the decks? Let's take a look at the decks. First of all, we have the minionless Demon Hunter with the Soul Eater's Kite. So you can put 3 minions in this deck, and the 3 minions that I have chosen for this deck, we have Lady Steno, we have Artificer Cymox, and we have Jace Darkweaver. And whenever you find a soul, you can choose which one of those cards you want to have drawn. So super consistent. This is a Relic Demon Hunter deck with no minions. So you play your relics, you play your fel spells. You have a lot of spells in this one, so you have Lady Steno, who can go face or wherever thanks to those spells. Then you have Cymox, who can cast all those relics, and then you have Jace, who can cast all of those fel spells. You have great access to all of these, and yeah, this just looks like Fel Demon Hunter of today, except that this is better. And the second deck that I have built is an aggro outcast Demon Hunter. So we're using the aggro tools and we're using these outcast tools. And what's nice about aggro outcast is that you have cards like Dispose of Evidence and Bibliomite that can shuffle cards back into your deck. So if you have some outcast card that is not quite in the right position, then you can just put another card from the side back to the deck so that the outcast card activates the outcast effect, and then you can go off with that outcast. So trying to do here with aggro style, I'm uncertain whether I really have enough outcast effects to activate Vengeful Valoper. That's a key question that would need to be tested. If I don't, then maybe Outcast is better in a mid-range shell. But that ability to put cards back in the deck so that you will be able to control which cards are in Outcast positions, that just seems so incredibly interesting. And finally, I have built a big Demon Hunter deck. I really thought about building this with Proving Grounds, so summon 2 minions from your deck and they fight. And yeah, but then I thought about maybe I'm going to do Sigil of Reckoning instead. So I just get those demons out of my hand, pretty cheap, pretty early, can start dealing some damage, get those demons killed, then all fel breaks loose. And with this deck, all fel breaks loose. Once it's infused, then you can have Illidary Inquisitors, Brutal Annihilants. So you'll have insane amounts of rush power that's also then going to go face. So that can just be game ending. And that's why I don't have Zillag in this deck, because Zillag stalks are demons, and I don't want to resurrect those stalks with all fel breaks loose. And that's how I eventually ended up away from the Proving Grounds and into the Sigil of Reckoning mode. But I am overall uncertain which approach would be stronger, so that needs some testing. But Sigil of Reckoning does allow me to use Carry a Fel Soul, make pretty good use of Masked Revelers, and then of course the Relic package. So Big Demon Hunter has some interesting tools now thanks to this Brutal Annihilan. So yeah, that's what I have for Demon Hunter. I'm pretty excited about Demon Hunter overall. I'm not certain whether all of this stuff is going to be absolute top tier, but Demon Hunter gets some of the most interesting cards and most fun looking cards in this expansion, so really looking forward to playing with it. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.